Hello, welcome to the Just Fry Everything in Butter show, where I teach you how to just fry everything in butter. Welcome to my Brooklyn kitchen. Today from the farmer's market we have king oyster mushrooms. Now, these are like absolutely, I have mistreated these mushrooms. I should have cooked them like immediately. Oh no. And I'm a bad person. Okay, so, you know, I let these sit for longer than I should have, but I'm cooking them now, okay? So just forgiveness, forgiveness is important, especially forgiving yourself.
Farmer's market time. Go down to the farmer's market to see what we can find.
So these are an absolutely beautiful product. They're like very sought after, and these are like very large and beautiful. And today I'm gonna show you, oh, look at them, they're so cute. Today I'm going to show you how to fry them up in butter, because it's just like, if you don't know what to do with something, oftentimes it's just throw it in a pan with some butter and it'll taste good. No, I know what to do with these, and these are just going to like soak up the butter. I'm going to slice, you can slice them any way, you can slice them, you can dice them, but what's kind of cool is you can slice them in little rounds, and they kind of resemble a scallop. So if you want to, like, for some reason feel like you're eating scallops, but instead you have amazing mushrooms, that's like a cool thing to do. So that's what we're going to do today, and that's it. Sorry I left you guys so long. I didn't mean to forget about you. I didn't forget about you, you were just on another, I had other things to do, okay? We're here now. Okay, this is very easy. Okay, because I left these a little long, there was like a slight amount of a little bit of a different fungus growing on our fungus. So I'm just gonna slice that bit off. And now, since I do kind of want, oh, look how beautiful this is. Look how dense, look how beautiful. No little wormy holes, no anything. It's like, looks like coconut ice cream on the inside. So cool. Oh, this one's really nice too. Okay, stunning. So I'm gonna cut these kind of fat because we're trying to, I don't know, I guess we're mimicking a scallop today. I don't normally, I shouldn't roll my eyes so much at like vegan recipes, because I appreciate the movement. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna cut these into, but it's just like, this is a fried mushroom. It's gonna kind of look like a scallop. That's what we're doing. Okay. So yeah, just this one. Okay, now that was too big. That's okay. Be like the fattest. Actually, there are scallops this fat. And the tops, you just throw them right in the trash. Just kidding. Obviously, just cook these too. They're really beautiful. Maybe I'll do some nice little slices, and that can be like a kind of a crispy garnish on top of our little scallop situation. Okay. Ah. So pretty. Sometimes if you're trying to get a straight line, it's good to chop off the parts that are not helping. So I'm going to take the top off and cut that in a second, and then I'm going to try to make these as scallopy as possible. This one is a little difficult because it has a curve, but don't be afraid. There's nothing wrong with the curve. It actually can be, you know, like a little more interesting. There you go. So, slice these up. And that's it. Now you gotta, I'm gonna show you what this looks like. And then we're gonna go to a hot pan. We're gonna start medium. These are gonna soak up a lot of fat, and that's what you want them to do because they're porous, and that's gonna be a lot of flavor. I'm gonna do this in butter, so it's not even a vegan recipe, but you could do it in oil or like margarine, I guess, if that's your thing. Or like season up the butter. Old Bay would be nice, like if you did oil, but then somehow after you put some Old Bay, maybe I will put some Old Bay. That's gonna give it a seafood, it's gonna give the illusion of seafood. Okay, I'm gonna show you this. We don't want the butter to get too brown at first, like I just want it to melt, and then I'm gonna add the mushrooms in because you want the sweetness of the fresh melted butter, okay? When butter gets brown, it develops a very interesting flavor, but you lose a bit of that fresh buttery sweetness, and scallops have a sweetness. And so since we're trying to have like a recipe that's reminiscent of a scallop, we need to have fresh sweet butter. Although there is a little bit of brown, like I said, brown butter left over in this pan. So if you want to create like, if you want to do this exact recipe, exactly the way I'm doing it, just put like 1 tablespoon of butter in the pan, let it get brown, turn it off, let it cool down, turn it back on, add the fresh butter. Okay, I'm going to start putting it in here. This is on super low. And these are just like getting a little bath. Oh, they're so pretty. Like I can't. I just like. You just don't see them like this. It's so dense. So now we just wait. See how these are starting to absorb the butter? We don't want it to go too fast because you want the mushroom to cook, or else it's gonna be really spongy in texture. I'm not a huge fan of raw mushrooms. I don't generally eat raw mushrooms that often. It's just what I like. If you're a big raw mushroom person, go for it. But yeah, that's not what I'm trying to do. So keep this nice and low. Just like with, well, this is kind of the opposite technique of a scallop, right? So if you're doing a scallop, you want the pan hot. You just go on one side, flip it over on the other side, and then you're done. That's it. But because this is not a scallop, it's a vegetable, or it's actually not a vegetable, it's a fungus. You have to cook it differently. So when you're trying to make a vegan recipe, this isn't vegan because it's not using butter, like I already said, but you're trying to turn something into something that tastes like something else. Sometimes you can't use the same technique because it's not the same thing. So if you tried to cook these like a scallop, it wouldn't, you know, I'm sure everyone's tried it, but it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the best possible situation because you're not respecting the qualities of the ingredient that you're cooking. Alright. Okay, so now both sides look the same. When you hold it up, it's like clear that the butter has gone all the way around. I don't think it's gone, it's permeated the whole thing. But that's okay because we still have some time to cook. If you sear them first and then try to let the butter absorb later, the crust is going to prevent that. So, yeah. These are looking very scallop-like. It's kind of weird. So now I'm going to turn the heat up and I'm going to move them to the side that's more dry. And I'm going to flip them over actually, back to the cold side. Back to the first side. Toss these around a little bit. Whoa, okay, we're getting a bit foamy. This is like a very touchy thing, so these are such a beautiful product, you really don't want to mess it up. So just be nice. Oh, they look very pretty. Very, very pretty. And, ouch. And so now we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Notice, I have not added salt. I do use salted butter. That's the butter I use in my house for everything. Unless there's for some reason something that I'm like, I really don't want this to have salt in it, but I can't think of something. So I haven't added salt because salt makes water go out of things, moisture, and I don't want these to become hard little hockey pucks. And so I'm just going to add a little salt at the very end once they're on the plate. Maybe a little bit of, maybe two kinds of salt. Maybe a regular kosher sprinkle, and then maybe a couple chunks, flakes. Although now that I'm thinking about it, oh no, I've got, yeah, obviously. Yeah, so that's the plan, and I think these are actually done. You don't want to overdo it, and as long as one side looks really nice and you know that the butter has permeated, you're ready to go. These seem like very squishy. This fat one is going to come off very last. So the small ones can come off. If they're like springy, it's actually funny that these ones are more dense, and that's how I know that it's like the opposite of a steak. The squishier a steak is, the more raw it is. But with these mushrooms, the harder they are, the less cooked they are, and the squishier they are, the more cooked they are. Look at these. Oh my god. Again, don't be jealous. Also, this one kind of has some rust on it. That's okay. Okay, oh, I didn't do my stuff. This isn't really gonna stick. If there was like a sauce, and you could do like a bit of a like kind of salty sauce with it, creamy, salty. This would be great with it's not vegan, but like a hollandaise of some sort. Well, just like spitballing. Okay, look. Butter went all the way through. Mmm, yummy. Okay. It's like, I like that it's not pretending it's not a mushroom. It just kind of appears scallop-like. Mmm. Very good. Mmm, so delicious. Like a scallop, this ingredient has such like a delicate and sought after flavor that it's nice to not really do anything to it. Mmm. Oh, I didn't do Old Bay. Well, if you want to do Old Bay, do Old Bay. Mmm. Mmm. Super mushroomy. It has a really beautiful texture where it's not rubbery or sponge-like. But it has a density to it. I really like it. Mm. I want this with like mashed potatoes. Or in like a creamy, something creamy, or even, well, definitely with a little salad next to it. Mmm. So yummy. This would be like one little serving for somebody. This would be like another little serving. So cute. A perfect dish for when you have your vegan friends coming over and you want to surprise them with something fun and interesting. This is the thing. Oh, the flavor of king oyster mushrooms is just, oh, this is a smaller one. So nice. Okay, so the smaller one has like a lot more of a scallopy texture. So if you let it go a bit longer, this one is like really like a scallop. It's very odd. It was small, so I think that's why. Craziness. Okay, yeah, I'm the most talented person in the world. It's fine. Don't worry about me.